We are live. Week 12. Yeah, it looks a lot better on the live stream. Finally, we have a grid view. I see Ricky changed his name.
Baby. Moving on up.
Yep, for real now.
I see Ricky took out his last name.
His boss told him.
No comment.
All right, guys. Welcome to the show. Week 12. How's everybody doing tonight? Everybody doing good?
Hey, man.
Feeling good. Feeling great to be on top.
Welcome to the show. We have on the show tonight our normal panel of guests. We have the expert, the expert data person on the call, and that's Ronnie, Reversion Ronnie. So he's leading the pack on the picks this year. So welcome to the show, Ronnie. And then we have the hottest member of our team. We have Rebound Ricky. He's doing great this week. So
crown
12.
Crown me. I was trying to find a crown.
Well, I heard you were on a hot streak. You know, back in the day when we used to play the NCAA. I got to know it was the NBA basketball game where you would like catch on fire. Remember that?
Yep. Dunking left and right on Ronnie. Every pick I make, dunking on him.
All right.
NBA
So
Jams,
yeah,
I think it was called.
Yeah, that's right. NBA Jams. Let's kick the show off, and as we usually do, we just go around the horn here and give our thoughts on the season so far. So, Ricky, since you're the hottest member of the team and you got 21 followers on your shameless plug website that you use, you can go first tonight.
It's called betsports.com, rgomezsae. Again, free picks on there right now. I got 21 followers because I'm making so many people money. It was top 10 this past week in the globe on hot streak for NCAA football. So clearly I'm very dialed into this season. I know I can clearly see what's going on. I can predict the future. So you guys are going to want to stick with me for the rest of the year. See, the first half of the season, that was the downward side. And as Steven said, this is Rebound Ricky. So we're just riding up for the rest of the season. It's just straight wins. We're 11-1 in the last 12 picks. Did great, won 5 games. Not too much stress involved in most of these games. The only one I lost was Tulsa versus SMU. Had the over 64. Went to 52 points. Tulsa left the points on the field, and I didn't predict SMU wouldn't score in the second half. So, but pretty happy overall. As far as the rest of the games that I did not bet on, Michigan got hammered. That was great to see. Gonna be interested to see how long they wait till they get fired. Until they fire Harbaugh. Saw Muschamp gets fired. Ronnie's homeboy.
That's right.
Saw him get fired. We'll see what South Carolina does. Seems like there might be a lot of openings at the end of this year. So, fun season.
Yeah. Last week.
All right, Ronnie.
That great. I missed a couple of them.
Too low, man.
I didn't.
Too low.
I'm too low.
Yeah.
We'll have to roll with it, I guess. I don't know what to do. I got my AirPods in like I do every week, but it didn't work out that well last week. 2-2. Penn State was kind of. They didn't pull it out for me, and then we had a couple of good picks like Tulane. Tulane definitely showed up against Army, so Army definitely struggling offensively. A little teaser for later in the show. Man, it's been a so-so season for the last couple of weeks, but 21-7, can't complain there. Doing pretty well so far. The Gators are looking back in form again, so we'll see if we can finish out the year strong and do something in December.
I think the difference, Steven, is Ronnie's beard has grown more in the past couple of weeks, so I think it might be blocking his voice getting back to the headphones.
It's possible.
Yeah,
Definitely
he's.
possible.
I think. I think he's just happy because the Gators are back to running up on the score on people like they did, a couple decades ago. Whenever it was, they were good. So I think he's just happy.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah. When is the SEC championship so that I can stop having to see this anymore?
I mean,
I,
it's
I'm not
what?
even sure we're going to have one. I mean,
Yeah.
who knows, man? So many games are getting canceled, and I mean, if we do, it may be the intramural squad from Florida versus the Birmingham Stallions B team. We have to bring over from Birmingham to play them because so many people are sick. So who knows?
Was it Mac
Yeah.
Jones like the coach of some girls' flag football team? Maybe he can pull them in or something.
Yeah, we may need them, man. It may need to distract some of those Florida guys. They seem to be playing very well right now. So guys, I know you love plug in what you did over the previous week, and that's a good thing. But if you're going to plug what you did, you got to own up when you screw it up. So I just want to remind you guys, it's fine to come on here and brag about your 14-0 or 15-0, but when you're 1-12, you got to come on too and own up to that. So I just wanted to kind of keep everybody straight tonight because I know you guys are excited because you did good and you're doing good, but own up to your mistakes too. This is the squares. The show is the squares. So you've had some square bets. So just own up to them. I just want to remind you guys as the police of the
Well,
show. So
well,
I talked
you
about
see
my
what
four
kind of
losing
character
picks.
Ronnie is. He leaves the screen as you're trying to explain that, so he's
I was trying to get
clearly
my
ducking
other
24/7.
other earpiece. I talked about my
yeah,
losing
well,
pick with Penn State.
yeah. Sounds like he's trying to bow up on the ref like his coach or something. Who knows what he's doing.
Oh man.
All right, yeah. It's been a weird season, guys. I'm not really sure. Every time I've picked with you guys, I totally dominated you, but this time you guys are doing way better. So maybe this COVID thing works better for your picking style because you guys are doing pretty good this year. So my hat's off to you. Um, so I just want to know, Ricky, since you're doing so well, I really would like for you to send that private jet down to take me to the Kentucky game. It's a big week. I would like to fly to Kentucky, and watch the game and that. What's the wheels up? Is that it? Is that the jet you
Yeah,
got this week, Ricky? Wheels up. You got a
yeah.
wheels up
Wheels up,
charter.
wheels up.
Yeah, wheels up charter. So wheels up. If you want to sponsor Ricky's on, we'll be happy to have you sponsor the show. You call us. But Ricky, you're doing so well. I mean, you probably made so much money that you can just fly down here and get me, and we can head to the game tomorrow. So just let me know if you want to do that.
Well, the problem, see, here's the problem. I lost so much money at the beginning of the year, so we're really starting with a very low balance on trying to make money on these bets. So, give me a couple more weeks or seasons, Steven, and maybe we can make that happen.
Man.
All right, so let's dive into some not so positive notes on week 11. We always dive into the previous week, kind of look at a couple games that are interesting, and then we dive into week 12, and you guys give your picks. And so I guess the first game that pops in my mind for week 11 was the Florida Arkansas game. It looks like Florida ran the score up on Arkansas in the fourth quarter, scoring 21 points. It looks like they just trying to rub it in Felipe Franks' face a little bit, but that's okay. It seems like Florida's 5-1 in the SEC, so it looks like they're on track to they're number 6 in the country. They're on track to meet Alabama in the championship game. You guys thoughts on the game?
So I didn't really care for the whole run of the score at the end. Our defense gave up 35, so we're trying to make sure we won. That's all we were trying to do there. Our defense is terrible, but
Whatever.
offense is clicking, so that's good. That's always good. We don't have a ton of really good opponents for the rest of the season. Florida State's ducking us this year, so I would too if I were playing as poorly as they are. And then yeah, I think Kentucky they might show a little defense, but I don't think there's going to be any matchup for us until we get to Atlanta, and we'll see how that goes. Take the over.
That's
So,
cool. Florida's
is
back.
is SEC one of the only conferences that actually kept the divisions to determine the championship game?
Mm, Yeah, I guess we cut the divisions. I don't know about the other conferences. I mean, I guess that either in the beginning it was SEC, ACC, and Big 12. Big 12 doesn't really have divisions. They play everybody all year long anyway.
Because
So
we got rid of the divisions in the ACC. Because
yeah.
I was going to say, otherwise, Texas A&M is above you guys, right? But I guess you're keeping the division, so it doesn't matter.
So I'm not really sure how that works out for ACCs. I'm not that familiar with how the conference is split out. But did they do that just to see if they could get a really good matchup in Charlotte with Clemson and said it was for coronavirus, or was that like is there like a legit contender in the opposite conference of Clemson?
No, I mean, I'm saying they got rid of the division, so they said anybody can play them.
Right.
Notre Dame wasn't in a division before, so that's probably part of it.
Yeah.
The rest of the whole ACC sucks. I mean, the only other team that would have been competitive is us, and we're in the opposite division of them. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, yeah, I feel people keep forgetting you guys lost to Texas A&M.
Yeah, we did. We did lose 41-38. We talked about that. Last time we gave up that many points and still scored 38 and lost was like 1999. So definitely different in Gainesville right now, but we're winning, so that's the important thing.
Yeah, you definitely have a quarterback. He was 23 of 29 for 356 yards with 6 touchdowns. That sounds like my numbers on
On Madden.
Madden. Yeah, it sounds like my numbers on Madden when I play Madden.
I got a question about that. Steven, how do you feel about people hyping up Trask so much when Mac Jones has put up way better numbers than him?
I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Yeah, please hype him, please. I love it. Trask.
I don't know how Mac Jones isn't a clear front runner right now.
The last thing any Alabama team or player needs is more hype. So please go with Trask on this one all day.
Yeah, that'll be a good matchup between the two here in maybe a month or so. When it does happen.
It's weird. It is weird, guys. Next week is Thanksgiving, so usually by this time of the year, I guess we're in Auburn week maybe, and so it's just a weird season. I think that we're still playing, and we're going to continue to play.
Well,
Miami's game got canceled. I was going to go to it this weekend. They got canceled.
Well, that's good. That's good you should mention it because we're going to talk about this Miami Virginia Tech game. That's the next thing on the
list. Hey, I won that bet. We beat this.
Ooh, man,
I got it at +2 or +2.5, so I'm good. We won. I will say, Steven called me out last week about. I expect you to be pissed off because that's you want a real Miami fan would want them to blow the other team out and not be accepting of anything. And this game was that game that I was like, this is ridiculous. Virginia Tech is terrible. We should have won by 3 or 4 touchdowns. Our defense is the weirdest thing in the world. Like the whole game, you're like, our defense is terrible. Our defense is terrible. And then we end the game and you're like, oh, we only let the team score 20-something points. Like in 2020, that's actually pretty good. So it's always weird watching Miami play on defense this year. Same thing last year. Our offense, I don't know if King is trying to prove that he's a passer and doesn't run because of that, because he's trying to prove for the NFL. But there's a lot of plays I feel like he leaves on the field that he could, if he used his legs a little bit more, probably would open up a lot more. But at least our wide receivers starting to make plays, which was our biggest problem earlier in the year. But yeah, we definitely need to see some improvement. And hopefully it all comes together when we beat Florida in the Orange Bowl in January.
So what's happening to the offense in the first half? Because this is like the second or third game you ought to come from behind big to win, isn't it?
We're just terrible, man. We can't run the ball. I will say, this week we had I think 4 or 5 offensive linemen out for COVID. So we were
Yeah.
missing 2 starters, and then had no backup. So if anybody had got hurt, we were going to put Joe Schmo in for the offensive line. Our defensive line had no backups as well, so nobody came out of the game because everybody was out with COVID because we were missing 13 players, I think. So that was part of the reason, I think, for the Virginia Tech struggle, but still no excuse. We should have dominated them.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks like you may have had red zone problems based on the score. I mean, it looks like you had one touchdown and all the rest field goals, unless you missed an extra point, which I didn't watch, so I didn't know. But
No, we went for 2 towards the end of the game, tried to make a 3-point game. So that was one of
okay,
them. And then
okay.
I think we were part of it at the beginning of the game. There was was it the first drive? I think it was the first drive. We drove to like the 30 something. We have one of the best kickers in the nation this year. Came from FIU last year. He is one of the best kickers. All right. I don't think he's missed a kick this year. Anyways, he hit a 57-yarder early in the year. He's good. We tried to run a fake field goal, 2-yard run. You could see from the setup they shouldn't have gone with it. He only gained 1 yard, so that was 3 points we had given to them immediately at the beginning of the game, and then let their quarterback run for like 70 yards that next drive on terrible angles and stuff. So it is what it is. Came out with the win. Pretty pissed still. Can't accept the performance, but I'm. It's probably one of the least happy 7-1 feelings I'll ever have in my life.
So now you know how a Denver Broncos fan felt when they had Tim Tebow as a quarterback, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
God. Man.
A win's a win, guys. Come on.
I'm not going to say anything on that.
We love you, Tim. Don't get mad at us. Okay.
It's one of our 7
cool.
listeners.
Yeah. Let's talk about Indiana, guys. Indiana 24-0 over Michigan State. Not want to spend a whole lot of time on it because it's a Big Ten game, which is basically high school football. So, but they did good. Indiana's 4-0, and they seems like they're the hot team. So if you guys aren't picking Indiana, you're probably not picking correctly this week.
I'll talk about this a little bit more when we go into the next week's game, since that's a big time game that they got Ohio State this week. On my feelings on Indiana.
Yeah.
And
I remember that game, like I think it was 3 years ago, where Ohio State just laid an egg in the first half. And Indiana, I went into the locker room up like, I don't know, maybe it was 10 points, 2 touchdowns, something like that. And they were acting like they already won the game. And then I was just pounding the second half line for Ohio State because you knew they were just come out and destroy them. They did. I think they put like 5 or 6 touchdowns on them in the second half. Indiana do anything. It's probably gonna be one of those weeks. So second half, Ohio State may be the play there.
You're muted, Steven.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I was coughing. Yeah, I feel like Indiana's a really solid team. We'll see how they do the rest of the year. The other game that was interesting, just because another Big Ten, Wisconsin over Michigan 49-11. It was pretty much an embarrassment of khakis, and it's time to send the old jet up there to Michigan. To I guess it's Lansing, right? To Lansing, Michigan, and send it out for a new coach. So
it's Michigan State.
Guys, Michigan State's in Lansing. Oh, okay, yeah. So where's Michigan? Ann Arbor.
Ann Arbor. Yeah.
Ann Arbor. Yeah, whatever.
that was the other listener to the show, Michigan fans. Sorry.
Oh yeah. Okay. Sorry, Ann Arbor. Sorry. Yeah. So it's probably time to do a replacement on him. I think his time is up, guys. They're 1-3 in the Big Ten. They were outscored in every quarter except the third quarter. They just took a pounding. So it looks like the Harbaugh era is coming to an end. And so who do you guys think they're going to get? Who's a good candidate for Michigan?
Luke Fickell?
I just don't know if Fickell, since he's an Ohio State boy, will do that.
Money talks, man.
Yeah, but he's going to get money from whatever school he wants.
Did he go to Ohio State like as
Yeah, I
a
think he
as a
went to
student?
Ohio State and coach. I think he played, coached, everything.
Okay, I didn't know he played and or I knew he was coach there, but I didn't know he played.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't know. I threw out to some people, and they thought I was crazy. Bill O'Brien. He did do good at Penn State in college. I don't know if he wants to go back to college, but I think he's probably done with NFL for the rest of his career after what he did with the Texans. That
yeah.
is a Michigan job, maybe something he'd be interested in. It's going to be high paying, but I don't know if there's not too many candidates. Venables, I don't know if he thinks that could be a good enough job that he might want to take that, but he's coaching his son, and I heard he kind of wants to stay coaching his son.
Yeah.
So I
Brett
don't know.
Lashley.
Yeah, right. His name has been thrown out there about South Carolina, though, but I still don't think they'll have it.
Yeah. So you can just go ahead and write this in. Every job opening that comes open from now until they fill all the positions, Hugh Freeze's name is going to be on there.
Yep. 100%.
Sure.
Yeah.
Les Miles could be another one you throw out there. But Kansas hasn't been that good this year, so I don't know if anybody wants to take that chance.
I think he might be done for the Power 5 big programs anyway.
Yeah.
Well, cool, guys. So just the game. Go ahead.
I thought another thing that came out of that game was Wisconsin might be legit and a team that could beat Ohio State. Being off for 2 or 3 weeks they were. So they had that good game against Illinois, which Ronnie told me, there was just Illinois. Anybody could beat Illinois. And then they come and stomp Michigan, so he's probably going to say the same thing. Any team could beat Michigan.
Does Michigan and Illinois play each other?
I don't know.
That might be a good matchup.
But yeah, I feel like Wisconsin maybe has chances here against Ohio State.
Yeah. We're going to talk about that game here in a little bit. The Big Ten semifinal, Northwestern, Wisconsin. So,
well, really the biggest story of last week was the game that wasn't played, which is Alabama LSU. You guys know that's really the premier game of the season normally, and it looks like the Corn Dogs were scared this year. They wanted to start celebrating Mardi Gras early. So they're 2-3. They have a 2-3 record, and so they just decided to opt out. They opt out of the season. These guys just didn't have the heart. They wanted to just eat their cotton candy and sit down there in Baton Rouge and wait for the Saints to come on. So that game was missed. Unfortunately, you didn't see the beat down that was going to happen. Unfortunately, so maybe they'll reschedule for later in the year. Maybe we can catch them in February. Who knows? But anytime, any place, Corn Dogs. I'll see you later.
Dude, when is that program going to get the death penalty? How many more things do they have to do that is illegal before the NCAA comes down on them?
Probably about the same time Donald Trump gets thrown in prison. Never.
Like, they're basically Penn State. And they got those kind of scandals going on, and nothing. I haven't heard anything kind of happen to them yet. So it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, and just going over the other games that were canceled, Ohio State and Maryland got canceled, Texas A&M, Tennessee, Georgia, Missouri, Coastal Carolina and Troy, and Auburn and Mississippi State. There's a pattern developing, guys. It looks like COVID is spreading throughout the SEC. There's 4 games on the list here, and 1, 2, 3, 4 games. So that's it's kind of embarrassing. So hopefully Auburn will catch COVID and they'll be out the rest of the year.
This is all going according to plan. This is typical SEC kind of stuff. They basically played the beginning of the season so they can get high rankings. They're going to get everybody COVID now to make sure that for the bowl games and for the playoffs, there's no way they could be affected then. So to me, I see this all as part of a plan to make sure that none of the players have COVID during the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned that. I was thinking Wisconsin is definitely on that plan. They've only played 2 games. It's like they're going to get to January with 4-0 wins and claim, "Hey, we're in the playoffs, guys."
Oh, yeah.
All right, guys, cool. That's it for week 11 for me. Unless you guys have anything, we can move on to week 12. So I guess week 12. So games. Let's see what games are on tonight. It's Thursday. Tulsa and Tulane, Utah State and Wyoming, and I know Ronnie loves some Wyoming. Nope, it got canceled. Sorry about that, Ronnie.
What am I going to do?
Nope, sorry, guys. You just popped up on the screen. Canceled. So no Wyoming for you tonight. So yeah, any games you guys want to feature this week to kind of talk about in general before we get into your picks?
Yeah, we got that Indiana Ohio State game. It's probably the biggest game of the week. I guess what I'll say there is I think Indiana's 100% overrated. If Ronnie wants to get on me about Wisconsin hasn't beat anybody, who then Indiana beat? They beat Penn State. They beat Michigan State. Both of them suck. They beat Michigan, Rutgers. Not one quality team on their schedule. Ohio State had the bye week. They'll be focused.
I mean,
top 10 matchup. They're going to blow them out.
I agree with you there, but Ohio State's also played Nebraska, Penn State, and Rutgers. So if we're talking about strength of schedule,
I don't care. Well, you don't care about strength of schedule when you're talking about like an Ohio State. Like Alabama could play 5 nobodies, and you're not going to be like, well, they didn't play anybody. I don't know if they're that great. Like,
we'll see. But I definitely think that the 20.5 line is well warranted. So Ohio State's going to out-athlete them for sure.
Yeah, I took Ohio State minus 20.5.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a big chalk number, you're going to take it, right? So.
Yeah, I mean, you have to take that.
Well, I mean, Ricky.
Podcast.
So yeah, exactly. So Ricky, last week you were swiping right all over Notre Dame. Now this week you're all over Ohio State. I mean, are you just turning into a Big Ten, like Midwestern homer here or something? What's up?
For some reason, I'm having to pick all my most hated teams. Pick Florida like twice this year.
Why? Explain this to me. This is the square show. This is not the professional show. You're supposed to pick with emotion and with your heart and wear your emotions on your sleeves and get hammered.
I guess I realized the reason I hate them is because they do the opposite of what I want them to do. So I'm trying to factor that into my betting. And it seemed to have worked out so far. So,
well, I'm going to go with Indiana because if Indiana upsets Ohio State, I'm going to get a petition going, and I'm going to petition the commissioner of the Big Ten to trade Auburn for Indiana, just because we need to get rid of some teams. They're crappy in our league, and I'll be happy to take Indiana. They got a good basketball program. They could help us out with that. Not that we care about basketball, but it's much better than Auburn. So,
haven't y'all been caring about basketball lately? Didn't y'all get some big recruit to come in there, some point guard?
I have no idea.
Yeah, they did. They even got a new stadium and everything.
Y'all trying to get big on basketball. Got somewhere to spend that money.
Who's getting big on basketball?
Alabama. Alabama's trying to get.
We got a new stadium. When did this happen? Nobody cares about basketball. That's just something we do during the winter to get us to spring practice. Nobody cares.
All right. What other big games we got?
We got Clemson and Florida State. That's going to be a really good game.
Ooh.
Oh, man, if anybody has a chance, read the Florida State article that they put out on ESPN today. It talks about the past 5 years and how Florida State went from a national champion to like the worst program in the nation and how it all happened. About how Fisher and the administration. It's a great article. It's long, but it's good. But yeah, Florida State is going to get hammered. Another one of their quarterbacks just got ruled out for the season. So they're down to 2 quarterbacks. They got the Jordan Travis guy who gets hurt because he tries to run too much. And then the backup is about 120 pounds. And so if you guys want to watch a murder, that Clemson Florida State game, there might be a murder. I would predict mid-third quarter is probably when it will occur because the first quarterback will probably get a concussion within the first 2 quarters. So if you would like to see your first murder on a football field, mid-third quarter, Clemson Florida State, 11 a.m. Central Time.
I'm taking the Clemson line right now, like as we speak.
I got the over 63 on that game.
No. Wait till the team total comes out. It should be out in some books, but it's not out on the main book that I use yet. But Clemson total, definitely.
I
don't know if Florida State's going to score.
Yeah, I mean, so here's what I'm going to do, guys. I'm going to set up an account and I'm going to sell these hats. And the hats are going to say Mifuga, make Florida State great again. So that's my new saying. All right, guys, that's our rally cry for the rest of the year. Mifuga, make Florida State great again, because they have fallen all the way to the bottom of the depths of hell. So
that's okay. We can keep it that way for a while now.
Yeah, I'm okay with it, and it is but what's weird is the Ohio State Indiana game is at noon, and so is the Florida State Clemson game at noon. I would think they should need to move these games to nighttime games, but I'm not sure why they're at 12, both at 12. It's kind of a weird week for TV times. So that game kicks off at 12 p.m. Eastern time on ABC.
Yep.
All right. What other games we have that you guys want to discuss? I know
Bedlam.
It's Norman. Yeah. Isn't it in Norman?
Oklahoma State and at Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I don't know anything. I tried actually doing some research and try to analyze that game, and they all kind of perform about the same against similar opponents. If I had to pick a team, I'd probably say Oklahoma, because I'm always going to go with the team that I think could score points. But I think that's probably a really evenly matched game, and it's a rivalry game. I could see it being very close, and like I said, I'll pick Oklahoma just because they can score points.
Last one with the ball.
Yeah.
What's the total?
59.5.
What?
Oklahoma hasn't been scoring this year, and their defense has been holding other teams to low points.
59.5.
Yeah. I mean, the last 5 games that they've had, they haven't gone over 54, except for the Texas game, and that game went into overtime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Wasn't there another big game? Go ahead.
Yeah, I see LSU decides this week they're much better at playing Arkansas. I see what they're doing here. And my BYU Fighting Brigham Young Mormons are going to be playing North Alabama.
So I thought this game I thought about because we obviously have watched North Alabama play because our great University of West Florida Division II national champions played them before.
Go Argos.
BYU, I think it's like a 40.5 point favorite there. I'm like, that might it might be worse than that. So I definitely thought about that one a little bit.
Yeah.
And then you thought 40.5 was too many, right?
No, I'm saying I almost took 40.5.
Okay, because they're going to shut it down. They're going to take Zach Wilson out at halftime.
Nah, it doesn't matter. Samoans, man. I told you do not root against Samoans. You got Cincinnati, UCF too. Boys, Cincinnati Bearcats gonna put the whooping on UCF, put them back in their place. Dungeon for this year.
Well, I can already tell you guys. There's one pick that you both already have. I know Ronnie's got this pick. It has to be the Liberty North Carolina State game, 100% guaranteed.
I don't have it actually. So I feel like this might be the week Liberty doesn't get it done. But
it's going contrarian. I got you. All right, the true square. Trying to predict when we're going to slide back to the middle. Okay, yeah.
I mean, if it was 7.5 maybe, but 3.5. Are you kidding? I don't know. I don't know about that. So it does seem like there's gonna be some points in that game though. 66.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, that will be a high scoring game. NC State has the worst defense ever. We put 40 points on them, so
I
know they're terrible.
All right, guys, we probably need to get to our picks so Ronnie can get back to his duties. So you guys want to kick it off and to your picks?
Yeah. How many you got, Ricky?
6.
I got 4, so go ahead.
Yeah, this would have been 8, ladies and gentlemen, but 2 of my games got canceled. I was picking Miami minus 18 against Georgia Tech, and I think Maryland. I can't remember how many. I think they were less than a touchdown favorites over Michigan State.
Yeah, it was -6. I was taking Maryland too. Yeah.
Yeah. So I had that one before, but those games got canceled. So my first game, I already talked about it. We'll get into that real quick. Is just I got Ohio State minus 20.5. They're going to hammer Indiana. So
That's fast. Yeah. So I got. Nope. Wrong week of notes here. All right. So I got Wisconsin and Northwestern. It's the Big Ten semifinal game. Isn't Northwestern up in Chicago?
yeah,
Close enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Evanston.
All right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Wisconsin's definitely good, but like we talked about against Illinois and Michigan, which is definitely looking worse and worse and worse every week. So I think the Northwestern defense is definitely going to be the best that Wisconsin has seen so far. I think Pat Fitzgerald will definitely make Graham Mertz make him do his magic and shut him down on defense. At least as far as the running game. Northwestern's got a pretty good defense. They held Purdue to 2 rushing yards last week. I think they're only allowing an average of 300 yards per game on defense. So I think Northwestern keeps it close. I think it's 7 now, but I got 7.5 earlier. But yeah, take the points with Northwestern this weekend.
Terrible.
Don't play the favorites like Ricky.
Terrible pick. Northwestern has played Iowa, Nebraska, and Purdue in their last 3 games. Everybody has a great defense against those 3 teams.
We just talked about the strength of schedule thing, Illinois and Michigan. So
yeah, but they hammered them. It wasn't like they just barely beat them. They hammered both of those teams, 45-7 and 49-11.
Isn't Mertz a true freshman?
Yeah. So
I don't think he even threw the ball that much. I think it was mostly rushing last weekend. I just think eventually some defense is going to give him something to where he's not going to be able to perform like he's, a 5th-year senior or something like that. So he's going to run into some trouble, and I think this week's going to be the week. They may not lose, but it's going to be a close game.
All right, so guys, I'm just going to let you know this is the last week we're going to have so many down Big Ten picks. The SEC and the ACC. This is a square show. We're not trying to make money here. We're trying to have fun. You guys are going all deep into Northwestern and Wisconsin. I mean, Ronnie, if I'm not mistaken, you picked Northwestern like 4 times this year. So you're swiping right all over their ass. It's ridiculous.
I did pick them a lot this year.
Just so we don't have to talk about it's in -7.5. So I'm on the opposite side of Ronnie here.
Oh, so okay, cool. That's a good pick. All right, fine then. But next week, just limit the Big Ten picks, okay? Period.
That was my last Big Ten pick. Do you have any more, Ricky?
Yeah, I don't have any other Big Ten picks.
All right, Ronnie, go ahead and give me your Middle Tennessee State Troy pick. Go ahead.
It's Ricky's turn. But I do have a good one for you, Steven.
I got the next game I got, and I hate doing the ACC because I suck at the ACC unless it's Miami. Virginia Tech -3 over Pittsburgh. That's probably because recency bias of me watching the Virginia Tech game.
Perfect. That's exactly what it is. I love it. Love it.
They played us competitively, so I kind of feel like I have to pick them that they could beat other teams.
That's what I'm talking about.
But yeah, their running back was a little weren't 100%, so he didn't have top end speed. So assuming he approves this week, I could see them blowing them out. Virginia Tech's up and down though, so it could backfire me, but that's what I got.
Yeah. Is there how long has their quarterback been back? Is this his 2nd week back for Pitt?
I'm not sure. Pickett, you're talking about? Yeah, I'm not sure.
So who did you say has hamstring issues?
The running back for Virginia Tech, the kid that I think it was Herbert was his last name. He came from Kansas. He had been having a great year earlier this year, but he had some hamstring issues during our game.
Yeah, I don't know how you guys see this, but I think hamstrings are like you don't have like half a hamstring issue. You kind of like have a whole one and you sit out and let it heal, or you don't really play well. So I would just be cautious of that. I'm not sure how you play with hurt hamstrings because typically
especially for
people
a
are
running
sitting
back.
out.
Yeah, so I tried doing that in soccer one season my senior year, and I was the slowest person on the field. And by trying to do that, I couldn't sprint at all. So I agree. You can't be very effective if your hamstring's not 100%.
Yeah, that certainly can change a bet in a college football game for sure with the depth
Yeah.
issues.
Yep. All right. So you asked for it, Steven. I think Army's offensive woes is going to continue this week, and they're going to get a taste of their own medicine playing Georgia Southern. So yeah, take Georgia Southern plus the 4 here if you want to win money. Plus 4.
Where's that game at? Is that
It's,
game in Army?
Yep. Up there, West Point. Trying to think of the river running through it.
What's the
banks of
weather?
The weather
West
is
Point. It's in West Point.
Yeah, West Point.
So you're gonna get these South Georgia boys running a triple option. Probably not even on an airplane. They probably have to take a bus trip all the way to West Point, New York. It's going to be 25 degrees, windy as hell.
53.
53. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. 11 o'clock game, middle of the day.
Okay.
So you're right.
All
If
right.
it was snowing, you have a point. They do play. I think they play in the Dome, or is that Georgia State that plays in the Georgia Dome? Maybe it's Georgia State.
Yeah. I think it's Georgia State. All right. Okay. I can. Army's a decent team. They've been number one before, so maybe 100 years ago, but they were. So
Yeah. All the Georgia Tech fans listening in, you can watch this game this week and get your dose of triple option they've been missing this year. So
I know, dude. I just want one team like Clemson or Ohio State to be triple option. I really want it, guys.
You guys should do it. You're the team. You're the team.
I
That's
would
built
love
for
to do it. I would love to do it. The only problem is transitioning to and from it is like it's like basically having a different program.
yeah. Yep.
All right, my next game. We talked about it a little earlier. Florida State, Clemson, over 63. Somehow, Florida State's been finding ways to score points against teams with like doing a round robin of quarterbacks. So I'm kind of banking on Florida State getting 2 touchdowns in this game, and definitely Clemson put in over 50. I'm sure there'll probably be some interceptions for a touchdown, some fumble recoveries for touchdowns, some on special teams will happen. ETN will probably run for 3 touchdowns. I mean, Florida State's just freaking the worst team in the world. So I don't even know how they won 2 games this year. Like that North Carolina losing to them looks worse and worse and worse. Like they better be happy there's not a BCS anymore with computer polls because they would be anywhere near top 25.
Isn't Trevor Lawrence back this week, or was that last week? I'm getting the
He's
weeks
back
mixed up here.
Yeah, he's back this
He was
week.
back this week. Okay.
Yep. Minus 21 first half, Clemson. That's my next pick, by the way.
Minus 20. You're getting at 21 points in a half.
Clemson is playing Florida State.
Yeah, but
Let me
dude,
repeat.
yeah, but come on, dude. Somebody needs to check your temperature. You might have COVID or something. That's normally not a bet you would take. That's a bet I would take.
Ronnie,
Okay. Fair enough.
if you had $100,000 right now,
Uh-huh.
would you put all of it on Clemson money line?
You know what? That's a good point. I might just zero out my account here and put it all on Clemson money line. But I don't think they're offering it.
It's minus 7,000 on ESPN saying it's minus 7,000 right now.
Yeah.
There's no line on Bet Online.
Yeah.
It's blanked out. So
Yeah, they're not going to want that. So you might be able to go to,
Casino and do it.
Circa in Las Vegas and be able to get it, but they're probably going to like limit you to $20. So you can come back and get your penny.
that would be the true square bet right there.
No, that's a good bet actually. That's a really good bet. I mean,
Yeah, but I mean, come on.
I got a little story about that. So I used to play a lot of this. I would play like, Patriots, minus 1,000 against the Jets or something like that. And I did a lot of college games along that same lines. So Florida plays Louisiana Lafayette here about 7 or 8 years ago. And for whatever reason, we just could not get it together that game. We had
This
a
was
block.
Muschamp years, right?
Yeah, I think Florida was like minus 450, and I was about to lose. I don't know how much I was about to lose. Maybe like a nickel, and so I'm in the back bedroom. I can't even watch the game, so I'm so pissed because we had to freaking block a punt and do like an onside kick or something just to win the game, and they barely won. It was like a miracle that they even won the game. It was after that game I quit doing that. I stopped doing the whole.
Is that when you stopped betting on Florida as well?
Yeah, exactly. I stopped putting the whole bankroll on the big money lines. So. But if you want to do it this weekend, Clemson's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think anybody Clemson plays for the rest of the year until they make to the ACC championship, putting on your money line would probably be a good idea because we know that they have a backup quarterback that's not crap, right? We know their backup quarterback's probably better than every team in the nation, but other than like 10 people, maybe, if that. So,
yeah,
it's very unlikely their injuries is going to affect the result of a game for them unless they lost both quarterbacks. Then maybe they'd have a problem.
I just feel like, let's just say you're out. I mean, I'm not even sure. Are the casinos even open out in Vegas right now? I mean, but assuming they are, let's say you're out there right now with your buddies, right? You're having a good time. You're sitting around in the casino. You're smoking, a nice cigar. You're drinking some drink, and you walk up there and you're like, I'm going to take Clemson's money line bet. I mean, that's kind of like a Charlie move, dude. Like you're just trying to, it's just not a good move for the vibe. I mean, to me, they should not even allow that bet because that's just ridiculous. I mean, come on, man. If you're gonna go out there and bet,
Liberty
do
money
it.
line.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh man.
All right.
Taking manhood from people. Okay, all right. Who's up
Ricky.
next?
Ricky.
Okay.
All right. I already went over my Wisconsin Northwestern minus 7.5. Wisconsin. So the next pick I got is probably my lock of the week. Cincinnati minus 5.5. UCF.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Right.
I knew this
UCF.
was coming.
Yeah.
The more we can just say the UCF is nowhere near the level of the other Florida teams. Now I'm starting to think it's just Miami and Florida because Florida State's would probably get smashed by UCF right now. But I'm always happy to make sure that UCF gets reminded that they're nowhere near the big boys. And they better watch out for UWF climbing up to pass them for the third best team in Florida.
Well, I think so. I have the over in this game. UCF has probably the worst. Well, I don't want to say the worst defense in the CUSA, but they're giving up over 450 yards. I know Cincy has a fairly decent defense, especially for their conference. So, I think that's going to be if it'll go over 63, it'll kind of depend on how much Cincy's going to give up. But I think that's probably a pretty easy win. That probably should be the lock of the week, over 63 in Cincy UCF game.
I don't like that. I think Cincinnati's defense is really good, and I could see them keeping them low scoring. And Cincinnati's more of a running team, so
I just can't see UCF not getting to 30.
yeah. If that's happening, then I might be in trouble. I'm a little worried there.
Yeah, I did take +6 on UCF, but that was just I'm not giving that out here just because I don't want people to lose money.
Oh man. All right. My other pick I got is Auburn, Tennessee, over 50.5. Auburn seems like it's starting to put it together on offense a little bit. The only problem that I'm worried here is they haven't played in 3 weeks. So how much is that going to mess with them starting to get it together on offense a little bit? Tennessee, I think, was overrated at the beginning of the year. So I don't think their defense is really anything that special. So over 50.5.
Okay. So what do you think, Steven?
You're on mute, Steven. I know you were talking crap right there.
Yeah, that's a freaking terrible pick, dude. That's too much orange. It's those teams wear that damn ugly orange. It's going to look like a garbage truck workers convention. I wouldn't bet at all on that game, dude. That's just two trash programs playing trash ball. I just would stay away from it. You never know what's going to happen, dude. So hopefully you'll win, but I'm afraid you're going to be let down on this one.
All right. Well, so for my last pick, this is one that I'm sure you're both going to agree with. It is the under 44 on Mississippi State and Georgia.
No, I'm thinking about going the opposite.
What?
So they just replaced their starting quarterback with JT Daniels, the kid from USC who can throw the ball. A lot better than every kid that I've seen start for Georgia so far. So I was actually thinking, because I get where you're coming from. You're probably saying Mississippi State's going to get shut out, right?
I mean, if Kentucky can hold them to 2 points, what is their defense going to do? So it's up to Georgia to score enough, and their offenses have a lot of issues. And Mississippi State's defense isn't necessarily a poor defense. So,
does Kirby Smart run up the score, guys, or is he not that kind of coach?
I don't know. You're on mute, Steven.
Oh. Yeah, I got it. I don't think he. I think he just scores whenever he can. He's not really an offensive guy, but I think the game is too erratic. You got two erratic coaches, erratic programs, unsettled quarterback positions on both sides, right? So I would just stay away from it if it was me. But if I had to pick, if you put a gun to my head, I certainly would take the points just because it's points, and I'll take points 25 all day long.
Now, Steven, Alabama minus 30. You take it or no?
Against who? Kentucky? No.
Wow.
We'll see.
I don't know, man. You want to talk about a team that might shut another team out? I can see Alabama shutting Kentucky out. And you know Bama's going to score 42 or plus.
Well, I just don't like depending on defenses this year. It just gives me heartburn, just because of it. Just seems like there's not very much defense going on. Maybe there is. I'm just not seeing it. But I don't like that at all. Especially Kentucky. I mean, I don't like it.
Well, that was my last pick. You got any more, Ricky?
Nope, that was all 6 of mine. So happy Thanksgiving to everybody. That was my, turkey present to you. Now you can buy a bigger turkey, maybe get 20, 30 pounder. Maybe you try to fry a turkey this year. Who knows? So everybody enjoy their holiday.
Amen.
So are we taking off next week, guys? We're gonna give some free picks next week or what?
Hey man, I can throw out picks anytime.
So I guess if you want free picks next week again, and you want to see how everyone's doing, you can go to Ricky's shameless plug website that he keeps pumping. That are not paying us to promote, and we shouldn't have to say their name until they pay us, but that's okay. He's giving that away for free. So everything's free on this show, guys. It's a socialist show. We give everything out for free. Happy Thanksgiving, guys. Ronnie, I hope you go 0 and 12 next week. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving, guys.
Bye, guys.
All right. See you.
Now they're gone. I can give you my picks.